Hi, Dr. Jerome of Dynamic Disc Designs. I wanted to bring to you a recent publication in Nature, and it's a novel assessment of the variation in cervical intervertebral motion control in a healthy, pain-free population. So, I'm just going to read the introduction here just to help kind of orient people, but an improved understanding of the normal spinal control mechanisms at the intervertebral level during functional movements is important for comparison with symptomatic state when attempting the management of musculoskeletal pain. So this is at the hub of Dynamic Disc Designs. And interestingly, the segment in the cervical spine that they demonstrated has the most variability with regards to movement in the flexion and back to neutral state is actually the level that doesn't have the intervertebral disc at the C1-2 level. So what these researchers did was they looked at, they used fluoroscopy at 25 frames per second, and they looked at flexion, right? Flexion and back to neutral. Flexion and back to neutral. And they mapped out the intervertebral motion at each segment. And what each segment demonstrated was reasonable consistency with the movements in the asymptomatic group. But what was most variable among the asymptomatic subjects was the movement of C1-2, which is the first level that doesn't have the intervertebral motion segment. So you can see that in this model, scaled up 4 times, that this is a very complicated area with different ligaments, the apical and the alar, and the accessory ligaments. And not only that, but look at the suboccipital muscles in particular. So this is a particular area that is complicated. And but what we can learn regarding the research that was published by these incredible researchers, Alan Breen, the anchor author, Alexander's in there, Renee Lindstrom, I don't know, but applaud to them, or an applause to them. But what we can take away clinically is that we are constantly looking for, I do anyways in practice, I look for segments that need motion or require less motion. We're constantly I'm looking for this motion sharing theme. Which intervertebral motion segments are moving more? Which are moving less? Where do we apply our therapeutic interventions? Where do we apply stability? What this study showed is that the most variation in mobility is at the C1-2 level area. So that tells us a big story, in my opinion, regarding cervical motion. So when you are palpating and evaluating motion, keep in mind that the most variation in your patients will likely be from the C1-2 level, right? So hope that was helpful, and I will leave a link to the article below.